Not everyone know how to manage themselves. Knowing will greatly help one to succeed. Most of us have to learn to manage ourselves. The modern management guru Peter F Drucker says that there are great men in history such as Napoleon, a Da Vinci or a Mozart who have managed themselves very well, but they are exceptions. Ironically, many of us think that we know what we are good at and what we are bad at. Unfortunately, in both, we are wrong. We today live in an age of unprecedented opportunities. If one has the ambition, the drive, and are smart enough, one can rise to the top in any chosen field. For this, one has to understand oneself. How can we know what we are good at? Listen to this episode to get the answers. Peter F Drucker, in an article published in the Harvard Business Review, recommends a simple technique called feedback analysis. Let me explain what feedback analysis is. We take so many decisions in official, professional, and personal life. Whenever an important decision or action is taken, make it a point to write down your expectations from that decision or action. For example, you may decide to change, say from job A to job B. Write down what you expect from the new job B. Maybe more money, growth opportunities, or work-life balance. After a few months or an year, check the actual outcome with the expectations that you listed. When this is practiced regularly for all decisions that you take, you will soon realize that you are good at some decisions and at some you were not good at all. That will tell you what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. With the practice of feedback analysis done over a few years, our strengths and weaknesses will not only stand out but also give us some additional benefits. Like 1. Feedback analysis tells us what not to do. 2. Some people suffer from intellectual arrogance. That is, if we have expertise in one area, we tend to look down on other areas. Several years ago, when I was in my student days, for example, science students underestimated the value of education in social sciences or arts courses. The fact is, knowledge of social sciences is very important to progress in life. With feedback analysis, we will realize that this kind of intellectual arrogance is unfounded. 3. Feedback analysis will also help us to identify our bad habits, things that we do or fail to do that are the stumbling blocks to our progress. 4. Feedback analysis will help us to know if we are short of manners, if we are failing again and again despite our brilliance in an area where cooperation from other people is required. It points to a lack of manners and a lack of courtesy to fellow beings. In that case, we need to improve our manners. The other thing to do in the process of managing ourselves is to ask some important questions. How do I perform best? Do I perform well singly or in a team? Am I a solo player or a team player? When do I perform best? Say, in which time of the day? Am I at my best in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening? How do I learn? There are probably half a dozen ways in which a person learns. Some people learn by doing, some by writing, some by listening, and some by speaking. I personally learn by speaking and writing. What are my values? How to know your values? Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to see in the mirror every morning? That will tell you your values. Knowing values is important because we will not be good at something with which our values do not match. Where do I belong is another important question. Many people do not know where they belong until they are passed into their mid-20s or even 30s. This can cost them. In a job context, most of the job hopping by young people happens due to this reason. Some perform well in big and well-structured organizations. Some perform well in smaller and entrepreneurial organizations. Someone who is not a decision maker, for example, should refuse to take a position that involves decision making. Knowing where one belongs can transform an ordinary person into an outstanding performer, because being in the right place can help multiply our effort as well as accomplishments. One more important question: what can I contribute, or what should I contribute in a given situation? The answer lies in 3 specific questions. What does the situation require? How can I make the greatest contribution given my strengths and values? What results are to be achieved to make a difference in the given situation? Finally, it is important to work on a parallel career early in life so that one is ready for a fulfilling second half. Thanks to advancements in science, the average lifespans of people have gone up significantly. As people live longer, the active working life has also gone up to 50 years or more. This is especially true for knowledge workers. This will require pursuit of a parallel career or even a serious hobby that will prepare one for the second half. Some people that I know engage in teaching as a way to share the knowledge and experience over and above their regular professional careers. Some have begun to learn music, something they enjoy immensely, and some are associating with social service and similar as a way to give back to society. This is possible only when one understands what one wants to do in the second half of one's life and plans for it well in advance. To conclude, we have to do 4 things to manage ourselves better. 1. Do a feedback analysis or a continuous self-evaluation to know the strengths and weaknesses. 2. Ask some pertinent questions to understand preferences and values. 3. Start working on a parallel career early enough, or even on a serious hobby. 4. Plan for a second half in life well in advance. Thank you for listening to this episode. Hope you found it useful. I will keep coming back with more nuggets of wisdom regularly. Please subscribe to my podcast. Should you like to have a one-to-one chat with me on any goal you want to work on, dilemma, or challenge you want to resolve, you can reach out to me for a coaching mentoring session on rsrmurthy4@gmail.com. I'll say it again, rsrmurthy4@gmail.com. numeric 4 @gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.